It's Wednesday night, and you know what that means. Hello, I'm Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist and owner of Lukenosis Hypnosis, here with your Wednesday night live. Every Wednesday for July, I will be hosting a live on Facebook or whatever medium you're watching this at 7 p.m. Eastern, so please join. The topic of the lives will be on sugar, and specifically sugar addiction. So we're going to give a few moments to allow people to gather by. If you're just joining us, please say hello in the comments below so I know you're here. And also, because I don't know if my microphone, got a new microphone plugged in, please tell me if you can hear me as well. That would be great, so I know that I'm not speaking to myself right here. And also wave so I can see that you're there. So if you've got any questions about sugar, please do ask them, as you got me live right here tonight, about sugar addiction and how I treat that with people. Hello Deb, how are you? Can you hear me okay? Let me know if you can hear me okay. If you've got any questions about sugar addiction and how to get rid of it, I can help you. Also, I can tell you a little bit about my ongoing, what's going to start actually on the first Wednesday of August, my group hypnosis and other methods for getting rid of sugar. So stay tuned, I'll give you some more information about that. But this talk is called, is sugar more addictive than cocaine? So here's an interesting study. In 2006, they did a study with rats. It's always with rats, isn't it? In a cage. And on one side of the cage, there was a water apparatus, if you will, and it was loaded with cocaine. And the rats would go and they would drink, and they would drink more and more. They was addicted to the cocaine. And then the scientists had an idea. On the other side, they had another water. On the other side, I should do that, shouldn't I? And this water on the other side was loaded with sugar. And before too long, guess which water won? Guess which water was drunk most of the time? If you said it was the water loaded with sugar, you'd be absolutely right. The rats continued to go more and more frequently to the water that was laced with sugar. So what happened then was the scientists, they loaded up the other canister of water with a higher dosage of cocaine. Even then, the rats continued, I should say, to go over to the water that was laced with sugar. No matter how much cocaine the scientists put in the cocaine water, the rats continued to, without even thinking about it, went to the water laced with sugar. Hey Camille, how are you? So it's a very interesting thing, isn't it? And we look in today's society, right? And although, unless you've got a few bob, as we say back home, for the rest of the world, money, cocaine is not freely available so easily, and it's not inexpensive, all right? Not that I'd know, but I work with a lot of people that want to become cocaine free. So it's a little bit harder to get hold of cocaine regularly, and it's going to cost a little bit more money. Whereas sugar, well, sugar's everywhere. And sugar's cheap. Get a chocolate bar, a loaf of bread, some bagels, some donuts. It's pretty cheap, and wherever you go, there's sugar. You ever go to a supermarket? You ever go to a Loblaws or a Shoppers, or back home, a Waitrose or a Sainsbury's or a Marks and Spencer's? Sugar's everywhere, right? Sugar's everywhere. It's loaded absolutely everywhere. Probably about 80% of the stuff you'll see in a supermarket will be loaded with sugar and easily obtainable. So it's there. It's there. And the thing about sugar is it kind of just scratches the itch temporarily. But 10, 20 minutes goes by, and guess what? You want to eat more sugar because it never satisfies you. It's essentially empty calories, for want of a better word. Now, people are like, well, sugar, isn't sugar carbohydrates? Yes, but there's different forms of carbohydrates, okay? And if we look at the macronutrients of food, to get a bit deep on you and technical, we've got carbohydrates, we've got protein, we've got fat. We have to have protein for our hair, for our eyes, for our muscles, for our bones, right? We also have to have fat for energy, for lubricating the brain, for our organs. They're crucial. Carbohydrates, I'm not here to say you don't need any carbohydrates at all, but could you live a long and happy life with hardly any carbohydrates? Absolutely, absolutely. You're like, well, isn't that what your body burns first for energy? It is. That's why most people are fat. But when people go to a low carbohydrate diet, or they go keto, or indeed they fast, your body within a few days, perhaps as long as a week, switches from burning sugar as your ideal fuel to fat. And isn't it fat what we want to burn? We all want to get rid of our stomachs, don't we, for summer? We don't care so much about burning sugar. We want to burn the fat off us so we become leaner, fitter fighting machines. Now, the more carbs you consume, specifically sugar, because most of us will overconsume sugar, and all carbs essentially turn into sugar, it keeps us fat, it keeps us lazy, it keeps us sedated. It's easy for me to say. So we don't really need carbohydrates. We certainly don't need sugar, although it's very, very pleasurable. But again, it's like scratching an itch, right? It will give you temporary relief. But if you've got some kind of skin disorder, the more you scratch it, what happens? The more you scratch it is like scratching a sunburn. What do the doctors tell you to do? Don't scratch it, because it gives you a bit of relief in that moment, like sugar, like chocolate, like candy, like bread. But then 10 minutes goes by and what, you need to scratch it again, rather than just put the cream on it, fix up your skin, and get to the root cause of it. And people that I meet that overindulge in sugar, and I put myself formally into that category, it was never just about the sugar. We all had our reasons, whether we were aware of them consciously or unconsciously, as to why we were over-consuming. I'm yet to meet, although I'm sure they exist out there, but I've never met someone who's addicted to fat. They would keep eating butter, keep eating lard every day. I never met someone who's addicted to eating sausages or just bacon. That's all they eat every day. Because eventually you get sick of the meat, you get sick of the fat. There's only so much you can eat. But carbs, sugar, bread, pasta, donuts, muffins, cakes, ice cream, we can eat that shit all day, right? Because it tastes great. But again, it's just essentially empty. It's like masturbation for the brain, if you will. Yeah, it does the job in the moment, but long term, it's just cheap and it's hollow. So next time you find yourself overindulging in sugar or going down that sugar pathway, remember the story, remember the scientific study from 2006 about the rats, right? And even they got addicted to sugar over cocaine. So bearing in that, I think probably sugar is more destructive in many ways, because most of us, most meaning half of us in the world, overindulge in sugar, where a lot less of us will take cocaine, thankfully. But the side effects of consuming too much sugar for our psyche, for our body, for our health, for our skin, are not very good at all. So the jury's out on it, but you make your own decision. Is sugar more addictive than cocaine? If you've got any comments, please put your comments in the comment box below. Also, as I mentioned, in August, for 4 weeks, I'm going to be doing a sugar addiction, release sugar addiction, the sugar solution online course over Zoom. Only 10 people are going to be allowed into it. It's going to be $300, but if you sign up from one of these seminars before August, you save $50, so it'll be $247. I haven't put together the page yet for it online, but if you are interested, forgot the ED there, put the comments below that you're interested in. I'll give you a personal message, or you can send me a personal message if you're watching this and ask me to send you the details. And if you come from this webinar, if you come from this live, you will save $50. Now, so it'll be $250 to get me for a month, one time a week for an hour on Wednesday. Again, it will be in a group situation, so it won't be one-on-one, but I'll be sharing with you all techniques and hypnosis and other modalities on how to become sugar-free. Like I've been able to become sugar-free for 5, almost 6 years now, and have helped literally hundreds of others of my clients become sugar-free. So if you're interested, drop me a personal message or write in the comments you're interested below, and I will send you a link. And again, I haven't put that page together yet. It's just something that I came up with last week. So you're getting it before all the other people officially go to my website. Will get it. Do understand that to train one-on-one with me, my hourly fee is $1,500, right? So to get me for $250, that's for one session, by the way, the $1,500. To get me for essentially 4 sessions, yes, it will be in a group environment, but there will be personal attention given to everyone else. You're getting me, what's that, about 1/8 of what I typically charge for an hour, but you're getting 4. So it's recommended if you are struggling with sugar addiction, you want to release some weight for the summer. It's not too late to reprogram your mind not just to lose some weight, release some weight for the summer, but to get that fixed in your brain and release sugar addiction, and stop relying on it. If you've got any questions, put it in the comments below about sugar addiction or hypnosis, or I help people. Please do that. If you're watching live now, go ahead. If you're watching on the replay, still leave some comments, and I will endeavour to answer those as swiftly as I can. That being said, I have been Luke Michael Howard, clinical hypnotist and owner of Lukenosis Hypnosis. Look forward to seeing you next Wednesday. If you've got any ideas of other things you want me to cover in these lives as it relates to sugar addiction, and how I help people, again, put that in the comments as well, and I'll look to inbuild that into future Facebook lives, webinars and so forth over the coming weeks. So all that being said, see you next week. Same Luke time, same Luke place, same Luke channel. Always believe.